Should they add the building permit to the very end?
Oops, I pushed the button. Or to the consent file.
Maybe.
I think it's added to the consent file.
Bless you.
Thank you. All right, I would like to call the Albany Selectmen meeting to order at August 24th at 5:31 p.m. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. New business, approval of the August 10th Selectmen meeting minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second. Any discussion? We'll call it to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Beat ya.
Oh.
Sorry,
Approval.
just leave it there.
Approval of the August 24th consent file, which consists of a review and signed manifest in the amount of $153,231.23 and $151,831.41. This includes payroll and accounts payable for 8/17 and 8/24, and I believe this also includes 2 payments to the school district, if I'm not mistaken. Also to review and sign a building permit for map 7, lot 44. Can I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the consent file for August 24th, 2022.
A second?
Any discussion? Call it to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Review and discuss management letter from the auditors pertaining to the 2021 town audit.
So this doesn't require any action. I just wanted to make sure that you guys had a chance to review it, because they do make 3 recommendations, one was about the reviewing your investment policy and readopting it annually. We'd already done that. And then the treasurer's keeping the collateral the beginning and the end of each month. And then there's something in the treasurer's report, in the annual report, they didn't include the conservation fund, so she's gonna include that this year. So
Okay,
everything has been addressed.
perfect. I thought it looked good, just a normal kind of,
Yeah,
there
there wasn't anything really material.
nothing material. No. Okay. Anything else from that?
No, that's, I just didn't know, like, if you guys had had a chance to review it, and if you had any questions about.
Questions?
I don't have any questions.
Review, discuss, and approve application for a vending cart vehicle permit for Mr. Griggs for the 2022 apple season. He is, every year, always submits that application, and he sells his apples on the side of the King Mangus Highway, and,
August.
no, it's King Mangus. It's
Uh-oh.
spelled that way. I'll make a motion to approve the application for the vending cart permit.
Second.
Discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Review and discuss a legal opinion regarding the closing of the town Albany Party Fund, which it sounds like it doesn't need a town meeting vote. It wasn't a town meeting vote to open it, it won't be a town meeting vote to close it.
Yes, probably should have been set up under 3195 as a revolving fund or as a special revenue fund, but since it wasn't, you really, unless you think
Yeah,
there will be,
I just thought for transparency reasons, maybe to make it some sort of,
well, the problem is if we put it on the warrant and people vote against it, then we have no legal fund.
oh,
So
okay.
it might be better if you guys vote to close it, we do the paperwork to close it, let it drop into general fund, and then if people at town meeting or somebody wants to petition, I mean, I think people might be interested in revamping it, but I think somebody needs to step forward then and express their interest.
It's always very hard to
Right,
find
get
volunteers and put it all together. It's a lot of work.
And if somebody is interested, then they can petition it on, and you could take that $1,700 or whatever out of unassigned fund balance and do it properly in 2023.
I'll make a
Okay.
motion to close the Albany Party Fund and transfer the funds into the general fund.
Second.
Discussion? Anything? All to a vote? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Review and discuss appointment to the North Country Council Commission and Transportation Advisory Committee.
So here's the deal. Let me just get this motion out. Okay, so, I spoke to the executive director, Michelle Moore Gray. So we have the appointment to the North Country Council Commission, so that's Steve Knox. We don't have an alternate. Steve has been attending all the meetings and participating. Michelle is very happy with his attendance. But she thinks it would be good to have an alternate. So the planning board is supposed to recommend, and then the selectmen are supposed to appoint for the full commission.
Yeah.
She thinks because of what we've got going on with Route 16, it's even more important that we have a participating member on the TAC committee, which is the Transportation Advisory Committee, which does not require a planning board recommendation. It can be judged by the selectmen. So if Kelly's still interested, then you could appoint Kelly to that, and then we could still appoint an alternate. And
Rob
maybe-
previously was, he was very interested in all of that. So I know it does involve traveling up to, I think it's Bethlehem, if I'm not certain.
I think they're still doing, because Steve, since his stroke, is participating
Zoom?
by Zoom or
Oh.
some kind of distance, so I think they're still allowing people to do it. And I don't know, Kelly, if you wanna be the alternate and just let Steve know if he can't make it, you would be happy, then we just don't need to run that by, get a recommendation from the planning board, and then you guys appoint onto him as the alternative to the commission, and then make him the full rep to the TAC committee, and if you can find somebody else to be, they're very gun-ho about having the member and the alternate. Which I see why,
I do too.
you know, they want participation and it's hard to get a
Well,
quorum
there
of,
might be somebody that we'd like to recruit down for the.
oh, definitely, Nick is the one that does, it's in, the bios are in
I
the,
saw that.
yeah, and Nick something is the traffic guy,
Mm-hmm.
and she said that, Nick Altanaga is the transportation planner, and he's the guy that really would be kind of spearheading it on their end, like, and, he's the one, I think they're the ones that sent me, or maybe it was Jason, the 2015 safety study that DOT did. But there's a little blurb in here about the Transportation Advisory Committee, on that page, and then, they're really easy to deal with.
I'm gonna play stupid for a minute here. That's TAC,
Which is part of NCC, it's just like a subcommittee.
but you don't have to do both.
You could absolutely, like, I was appointed by my board of selectmen in Wakefield to be on both the planning commission and the TAC committee, just because the selectmen didn't have any availability for that, nobody on the planning board is interested. I think one planning board member was an alternate to both of those. But the same person could be the rep on both, or the alternate on both, or a rep on one and an alternate on the other, you can mix and match. It's just, if you don't think you can participate, then let's try to find somebody who can. But if you're really interested, the
It's,
transportation committee might be the one to.
I'm thinking, let Steve do his thing for as long as he can. And, he's not on TAC.
No.
Then I wouldn't mind being the representative for TAC.
Okay.
That's more road oriented anyway.
Yeah, it's all transportation, and kind of alternates, like sometimes they do bike paths, sometimes they do sidewalking, you know, it's alternate transportation as well, but up
I
here.
think that would be more fitting, and let Steve do his
I
thing.
agree.
So all they request is the minutes from the meeting where you make that appointment.
I'll make a motion to appoint Kelly Robitaille to the TAC committee of North Country Council.
And then do you want to think about what you're gonna do about alternates?
I would plead to the public to join us, and the meetings aren't all that often, and it would be great service for the town of Albany if someone would step up and be the alternate to the TAC.
Does that need to be seconded? A second.
Yeah.
Maybe we can even reach out, like if some people attend the September 28th meeting,
Oh,
maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and really expressed interest, then maybe we can tell them that we have a couple of alternate positions that they
Mhm.
might be interested in. It's a way to get new people
Yeah.
interested and
Yeah.
kind of pass the
That'd be
baton
great.
on, hey,
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
down and,
Yes.
and there's nothing that says the alternate can't attend the meeting. The
Right.
thing is, if there's a vote taken, then just one of you would get to vote,
Right.
and generally it's the rep that gets to vote, but an alternate can go
Right.
and
Yeah.
participate.
So you'll get me a contact and whatever it takes.
Yeah, I will, I will just CC you on the notice and the minutes that I sent to
Okay.
Michelle, Lauren Gray.
Sure.
And I will also do an appointment form, just so it's kind of in our book and we have it, but I'll send the minutes right away.
Thank you.
And then give her, is it okay to give her your email
Yes.
address, so then
Yep.
she can get you on the list for when the meetings are gonna be, and
Absolutely.
Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do I vote for myself?
Congratulations.
did you vote for yourself?
Do I
Or
have
did
to,
you
right?
abstain? You don't have to, you can abstain or you
Oh,
can
aye.
vote, there's no rule against it.
Aye.
Aye, okay.
2 elections in 1 year.
Review the status of the health officer notice to 1295 Passaconaway Road regarding removal of trash and rubbish. Those pictures are horrendous.
So he called me on Monday, or I guess he called last week and left a message. I called him back on Monday. We finally hooked up. He said he had been there past weekend. Joe Ferris, our health officer, hadn't had a chance to go by and look at it because I hadn't asked him to yet. But our treasurer drives by there every day, and she sent me a text yesterday that said, "Yep, it's all cleaned up. Looks great." Being hot, she's very.
I would like pictures of that if our health officer could go out and take
Okay.
pictures of the cleanup and just so
Just
it's.
goes out the file.
Exactly.
Okay, absolutely.
Thank you. Review, discuss, and vote on providing the town assessor with the key to the front door in the town administrator's office. So Jason, our assessor, has been working in the town for 40 years. Before that, it was his father who took care of our assessing needs. Jason obviously is a very trustworthy person. And I feel with Kelly only open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I feel it's necessary for Jason to be able to access his records here and the computer if he needs to log in information. It's always been a past practice until a few years ago, and it just gives Jason a little more time and access to Albany, and it might help him along with meeting deadlines.
And I would just like to say that, I'm not in favor of this. There's nothing secure in that office, and we're putting all the money bags through the window because the town clerk tax collector's office is open so, few hours, and the treasurer does not want that to happen anymore if that office isn't. She's okay with it because only the selectmen, me, treasurer and deputy treasurer have a key to that right now. So we'll have to figure out something else for leaving deposits.
Yep.
And I'm just not, I trust Jason, but it's been 2.5 years. I'm not aware of any records he has in here other than the map and lot folders, which he has all that data, the deeds and everything himself. He's never asked me or accessed anything, so I'm not in favor of this, but it's a board vote, so.
Discussion?
Well, I just am having trouble understanding why he needs a key concerning what Kelly just said. If he already has all the documents he needs outside of the office, is it just for a space for him so we can like have an office space? Is that kind
He's
of
always been able to have access to the office, to the computer, to the assessing program. And also even his older records are here, and sometimes he does refer to those when he's making a decision about say an abatement or something like that.
He does have access to my computer, because I leave it on every night, and he can come into the desktop, similarly to how I do it when I'm remote. And he has a separate password and separate desktop.
Further discussion?
Did he request a key?
He
Um,
didn't say it. I said, "Do you have a key?" And he said no, but he would like to have one.
All entries are logged of some sort, right?
Oh, it will be with his security code.
Yeah.
Every time he entered and exited, he would have his own security code, so if something happened, we would know that he was in or out of the building, or whoever was in or out of the building.
For many, many years back from when I was active, there was never a problem. I mean, I remember him coming in, I remember a lot of things, so. I don't see a problem, as long as we know the comings and goings.
Right.
If it helps the town in a certain way, I don't see a reason why not to.
And it helps him.
We will definitely have to do something about the money bag situation.
Yeah, we should definitely address that.
That should probably be addressed anyway.
Yeah.
Now that everyone knows what we're doing.
so there hasn't been any issue with him coming and going before this?
He's never had a key.
He's just never had a key,
He always had a key when I was here.
but he did when you were here.
He did when I was there too.
Yeah.
A few people did. I think I remember when the keys were starting to get taken away, when the sheriff's department keys were taken, for whatever reason. I didn't agree with that either.
You have to decide what you're gonna do too, because we're having trouble with the alarm system, and it's been unable to be alarmed, so.
Oh,
If-
I
I don't wanna get a call on a Sunday that he's been in here and I have to drive up here and get out the alarm. I won't take responsibility.
So can
for
we-
that.
Can we table this until we have a security system though?
That's something I have to bring up with you tonight, because I gotta,
I'd like to take action tonight. I would like to make a motion to give Jason a call, a key and a code to the front door and to the selectman's office and access to the computer for his assessing work.
Second.
Discussion.
I mean, I just wanted to wait until that was secure with Kelly and she felt comfortable too.
So I will amend the motion and he can have a key after the security issue is resolved.
I second that even better.
Amendment.
Second the amendment.
Discussion. I'll call it to a vote. All in favor of the amended motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Discussion? When's-
That's discussion.
But when will this, how do we know when it's secure? I mean, what action we take?
I've got something, I've got an action item for
Okay,
tonight.
so when that action,
So it's resolved.
when those actions are
When
resolved,
the building can be secured, then
aye.
appointments.
Wait, let me add this under
Okay,
administrator. So, was it last Wednesday? Last Wednesday I went to leave and the alarm was in trouble. So I stayed till 5:00 and they kind of troubleshot it through the keypad. And it came out to be the panic alarm for the town clerk tax collector's office was probably had a low battery. Sandy had personal things going on, so I did text her. She didn't know where the panic alarm was. I texted Kathy Ryan, she couldn't remember where, she saw it, but she didn't remember where it was. So they came, I made an appointment for them to come out Monday, because I'm not here on Thursday and Friday. So the system was in trouble for a few days. Monday morning, they came out, and I just had them take that old panic alarm out and purchased a new one and had them put that one in. So while he was here, he was trying to do tests, because obviously he's not leaving until he's sure that what he did worked. So he hit the panic alarms, both mine and hers, and they went to the keypad. You could see them go to the keypad, but they didn't go out to the alarm monitoring company. So then he started to troubleshoot that. And what it turns out is we have two very old radios, one for burglary, one for fire alarm.
Yeah.
So the fire alarm one tests itself every day. And if they look at that, it sends a message to them that it's not sending out a signal.
Mhm.
So every day they're getting a signal from our fire alarm that it's working. And the panic alarms and the burglar alarm test every week. And same thing, it's testing that it's going out. The problem is he couldn't get it to go out because of those radios. So those radios were based on cell phone coverage, and our cell phone coverage with Verizon is sketchy sometimes. So they have new radios now that go out through the internet first, because that's always the fastest rather than dialing through cell service. So he said they don't even make those radios or use them anymore. He said the fire alarm radio is still in the low range of good, but the burglary alarm one is not testing good at all. So they gave me a price on upgrading and updating those two radios to the kind that will go out wirelessly first and then sell. Altogether with labor, the battery or the radios are $243 and $357. It's the labor altogether is $1,025. But the thing is that our fire is working pretty well every day. Our burglary, not so much. And the panic alarms, the remote ones.
Where could that come out of?
Well, we can use American Recovery money for anything a town is allowed to use money for. So this would only lower Curtis's paving budget by $1,025. So
Or could come out of emergency management.
yeah, we just overexpend it.
I'm just wondering if this might be the opportunity to get another quote. As I understood it years ago when this company came on, that was all replaced because it was so ancient, and if that's only 3 years ago.
I had Pope here this morning for the camera because the state police requested the video.
Yes.
So I had them here this morning. I can ask them to take a look at it and quote us as well. But the system's down, so we should just be, it's working sometimes. It's working enough that it's testing fine weekly. But I wouldn't want to wait so long that the fire fails, because where we are and, just set back, if somebody didn't see the building on fire, it would burn to the ground potentially before anybody even saw it. So it's up to you guys. I can get another quote. I was going to suggest, as part of the budget thing, they usually rebill in the end of October, the beginning of November, that we consider going to Pope anyway. But however, we have advanced for a couple more months, and he was here and he emailed me a quote, so I have it. However you wanna, if you want me to
I'll
get
make a
second.
motion to expend the money and go with advance and get this fixed as soon as possible.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 I will make a motion also to use the opera funds in the amount of $1,025.60 from the opera funds.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll send that to them tonight and we got a time frame on how soon we can get that done.
Okay.
And then I just wanted to remind you guys that, the local hazard mitigation plan grant meetings are gonna be September 7th, Zoom at 6 p.m. I'll send out, as soon as I get a Zoom thing from her.
Okay.
I'm hoping she has some kind of handouts for us to look at before.
Usually she does.
I-
Yeah. Or she
Usually
puts it
there's-
up on the Zoom screen.
Okay.
You
So-
don't see her, you only hear her.
So hopefully we get something. Cause it'd be easier to disseminate, and plus, there'd be people probably that can't come to every meeting that would want the handout, so
Mm-hmm.
that would be helpful if I could send them around once.
Yeah.
But I just wanna remind you, cause we kinda got a lot,
Yes.
that going on 9/7 and 9/20, then the meeting, the DOT meeting in 9/28, so there's some stuff coming down.
Yeah.
And that's all I had,
Okay,
sorry about the add-ons.
no problem, might as well get it off the plate. Public hearing under RSA 31:95-B to review and discuss the acceptance of unanticipated additional highway block grant and municipal bridge aid funds in the amount of $32,902.48 and $45,441 respectively.
So we talked about this with.
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing, did I say that?
Is that what you said?
I said that,
Second.
really don't need a motion, do we?
No,
Call it to order.
So we talked about this quite a bit at the last meeting, just because Curtis was here.
Yes.
So it's pretty much the same information. Nothing has changed. Although we did get the 32,902.48, we got that on August 16th. We have not seen the 45,441. And I think it was Chairman Golding had the question about how long those funds are good for. So I talked to Michelle Clark at DRA. She said they hadn't started to even talk about that, but she would assume they were as good for as long as the highway block grants, which are good until December 31st of the following year.
Oh,
So when you get a highway block grant in 2022, it's good till December 31st, 2023. So then I sent an email to Catherine Heck, the finance person at HMA, and also to, and she was out of the office, so rather than wait, because I'm impatient, I sent one to Tim Green, our auditor, and he says, because it's unanticipated funds, and if you have the appropriate, he has the caveat of the appropriate public hearing, to expend unanticipated, he thinks the money will just stay until you spend it. Because it's kind of off book,
yes.
like, it's not being used to reduce taxes, you can only use it for certain purposes.
Right.
So and you don't even have to, like, he said, you could accept it in your books and encumber it too, if you had like open purchase orders and stuff, but he said, you don't even really have to do that. It's unanticipated, you accept it properly, then it kind of just stays open until you spend it, or until you say you're done, you bought what you, and done the
I was
project
just
you could.
concerned because the opera funds does have a deadline.
Right, but
You
those
know.
are kind of federal, even though they're passed through state funds, they're really federal
They are.
treasury funds. Whereas this, I believe this is passed through treasury funds to the state, and now the state is disseminating it to us.
Yeah.
So there's another layer in there of,
Yeah, that's not federal.
so that's what I know about, at the very least, we could encumber them. At the most, I'll just start a spreadsheet, when
Yeah.
Curtis tells me that bill goes against that, then
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
just be able to provide it to the auditors and to you when you need an accounting.
I think that's great. Anybody
No.
Comments?
I don't have any.
No.
Sounds good.
If there's no other comments, I will close the public hearing. And then I will make a motion to accept the additional highway block grant and municipal bridge aid funds in the amount of $32,902.48 and $45,441 respectively.
Second.
Discussion? Call to a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Old business, anything new from
Nothing on the
anybody?
chapter, not from the attorney.
Okay,
I'll ping him about that, though,
at some point I'd like to do something about the flock too. Yay or nay it.
yeah, that's my fault. I need to they want me to get in writing from all the stakeholders, a note saying that it can't be closed, which
Oh.
is ridiculous because
Absolutely.
why can't they
Chief
just
Solomon
take,
will sign that and.
I don't know why they can't take our word for it, but
Yeah.
I'll reach out to Jim Ennis and
Steve
Donna
Solomon.
Brichardi, Steve Solomon, even, who's doing the bus, Tim Aldrich doing the busing, cause
Sure.
what'd you do if school
You
opened and
can't get across the covered bridge.
you can't get there from here?
No.
So, you know,
Yeah.
what's the detour, 21 miles or something ridiculous?
Yeah.
It's
And
not
again,
doable.
you can't get
You
over
can't even get there.
the covered bridge.
Right.
An ambulance can't fit,
No.
motorhomes can't fit, but they try.
I'll solicit those emails and send them and see where we get with.
All right, on to other business, planning board. Our next meeting is September 12th. There's nothing new from broadband committee, anything, no? Okay. And under other, I would like to acknowledge the tragic accident that occurred down the street in front of Sunnybrook Cottages and send condolences to the family of the little boy who lost his life. I'd also like to send condolences to the family of Kevin Sargent, who lived in Albany, and he was killed when a second tragic accident happened 2 days later in our corridor of Route 16 down in Madison. I would urge the public to come and attend our public information meeting that we will be having with New Hampshire DOT on September 28th. What was the time on that, Kelly?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. And we'd like people just to come in and voice their opinions, listen to DOT, possible answers, solutions maybe to our problems. But I think enough is enough, and I think some money has to come up this way to fix our help out our roads, make them safer. They're definitely not safe, and these tragedies happen over and over and over again. I'd also like to invite Representative McConkey to this meeting. He's on the state's Public Works and Highways Committee. I'd also like to plead to Governor Sununu to please help us and give us some attention to these problems that we're having up here. We really need some attention. Our roads were not built to handle this kind of traffic coming north and the speeds that people are traveling at. And we need some attention. So please, if give us some attention, help us. I don't know if anybody else.
Well said. I'd just like to add that this is a meeting that was planned ahead of the tragedies. It's not something that they're doing because of the tragedies. It just happens to be at this time. I live on Route 16. I am well aware of its problems. We're gonna take this meeting. We're gonna make it as big as we can. I think a lot of people have a lot of say. My neighbors especially, we all feel the same way. I was on the scene of that accident, and we don't want to see it. And I don't have an answer.
I don't either.
I just want to add that these people come from DOT are on our side, but they're not here to get ridiculed or yelled at. They're here to come up with a plan for Albany. So unfortunately, the plan is on a 10-year plan that was put together 2015-ish, and a lot of things have changed. Yeah, and
Jack Rose approached them in like 2011.
yeah, and we're on the tail end of the 10-year plans, which means they're going to get shovel ready in the next few years. So back then we didn't have distracted driving like we do now. We didn't have near the traffic that we have now. I think that the circumstances have changed. And the people need to tell these nice DOT people how we feel, and maybe our voices will resound a little higher to some people higher up in government.
I would also like to reiterate on your comment that this meeting was already planned before these tragic accidents happened. And it was basically an informational meeting on their plan to repave, widen, rumble strips, the whole thing. So they were basically coming here to just give us information that they're bringing. And it really, I think it's important for everybody to come and just voice their opinions after the years and years and years of tragedies that have happened on this corridor of Route 16. We're not going back the other way.
No, we're gonna move forward and get this.
We're just growing and growing and growing, and more visitors are coming, and we need some attention.
We'd all love to go back 20 years, but we're not going to.
I'd like to go back 20 years in age too.
So we hope for everyone's attendance. There'll be notices sent. People will get a heads up that this is coming.
I think we should put this in the paper as well.
I believe the
Announcement.
DOT has a package that
Okay.
they not, but we'll do also our due diligence. But
They're not going to put anything because you chose to make it your meeting, so
That's
I'm
fine.
Well, I'll talk with
responsible. I'm
them,
gonna put it in.
That's fine.
see what they
Yes. Couple
usually
times.
do. Yeah.
Couple times. Maybe
Okay.
Yes,
sign
see,
on
this
the
isn't
door.
their public hearing, this is just an
Just
information.
information. It's not
They
public
may
hearing.
change
Sure.
even the title of my form public
Sure.
hearing, they won't let it be titled that, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything to add to it, Jen?
I just want to echo everything you both just said so well. I think it's really important that Albany folks come to the September 28th meeting and at least get maybe some comfort knowing that the DOT is going to go forward with improvements. Much needed
You
improvements.
said something about the Madison road agent.
I talked to the Madison police chief,
Okay, please, Chief.
and he plans on attending. I also put an email out to the state police to see if they had interest or someone that would like to attend. But I figured I'd talk to you people and see before I start contacting people.
Maybe
willy-nilly.
Sheriff Ricciardi and
And
Chief Solomon.
Chief Solomon for sure, and all of them are frustrated. And the police, as you would expect, don't have the manpower
They do
to
not.
sit here.
They do not.
Neither the state police nor the sheriff's department, and we don't have a department that we can tell stand there. They have a patrol and they stick to it, so.
It's,
Whether it's speed, whether it's line of sight, but like I said, this plan was put together many years ago, and at that time, the accidents warranted those improvements. The accidents have probably changed much, and we're gonna have an accident report and find out what, if they can find out most of these accidents were, and from what I understand, unless the accident was over $1,000, it doesn't get reported, so any near misses are not reported. I have near
course.
misses weekly
oh, yes.
turning in my
Yeah.
driveway.
Absolutely.
People tell your story in a good manner,
In a
because
good
like I
manner.
said, there's money here for Albany. We just need to make sure it's spent correctly.
Over the years, there's been a couple emails that I've been copied on as a town, from people in Wildwood. So I can send the public notice to them as well, just to make sure they
Yes.
see it.
Sure.
Yes.
Because their intersection is horrible as well.
And that's
Many
a-
accidents right
another
there, too.
conversation, another
Well, and
conversation
just to
to have.
say that it's an information meeting, they're still in the this is a data collection phase, so they really wanna hear from our residents.
Yeah.
There is no scope for this project yet, it's not a done deal, what they're gonna do isn't written, it's not even written, really, let alone in stone, so they're still collecting data,
Now's the
And they
time
wanna
for
hear from
us to
us.
say,
Yeah.
please, let's do something
they wanna hear from our
rather
residents.
than nothing.
Kelly and I
Please.
met with them, and they were eager to hear what we had to say. They
Excellent.
wrote
Well,
everything
they'll
down.
be eager to hear everybody else
Right.
too, so. It's scary, especially, when you have children who are just learning to drive
Oh,
and coming in and out of these streets, living here in Albany. It was always just so anxiety ridden for me.
every
when my
day.
children were out driving at night and whatever, it didn't matter. We need help.
Okay. Well done, well said.
Thank you. Yeah. Great. On to correspondence, reviewed letter from DOT regarding one-time highway payment in the amount of $32,902.48. That is our highway block grant additional money that we just accepted as unanticipated funds. Review and discuss the program and changes letters from Charter Communication 2 this week. Shutting off more channels, great.
Rebranding.
The branding, yes. Public comment, I don't know.
I
Makes
missed
me
it.
mad 'cause I didn't make it to the fire station.
Oh, I
didn't
know, I didn't
That picture's
either.
boycotted. I thought, of course,
Yeah.
a billion other things, but I really want to be
It's
there.
just a little
There was-
premature, unfortunately, after discussing with Chief Solomon.
Yep. Yeah.
So.
I didn't
anyways,
see anything coming out of it that we didn't already know.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. This is very early
I just
on.
wanted
Very
them to know
early
that
on.
we were.
So,
Yeah.
non-public session is necessary, nothing tonight?
Nope.
Okay, our next meeting is September 14th at 5:30 PM here at the Albany Town Hall. And I will make the motion to adjourn.
Seconds.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 6:11 PM. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I did notice the public hearing to accept this second tranche for the next meeting. We
No,
got-
we accepted it last year.
No, we didn't. I went back and looked at the minutes. We only accepted the 39.
It's not unanticipated then.
Kim said it was.